What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR365. What is going on? It has been a minute, or actually it has been basically 1 week. A little bit over 1 week, in fact. I think our last episode was on Tuesday. Let me go ahead and turn this trailer down here. Our last episode was Tuesday on Twitch. And since then, we've been dark. And the reason we've been dark is because I was on vacation. I went to New York City. And you know what? I'm not going to get into a New York discussion on today's episode. There's actually too much news. There's too much going on. I'm not going to go into New York on today's episode. If you want to know about my New York thoughts, and I definitely have thoughts about New York. I have definite thoughts about New York. And if you want those thoughts, tune into Twitch tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, same time as right now. I will be talking about spending a week in New York. I'll of course be talking about VR gaming news and discussion 365 days a year. I'll be talking about all of that as well, but I'm absolutely going to be talking about the vacation to New York. Oh, and speaking of the vacation to New York, I'm not talking about it on this episode, but I did want to say, damn, I made a terrible mistake, guys. Okay, so here's the thing. The night before I was going to New York, I grabbed my laptop, I turned it on, and I was like, let me make sure I'm ready to go with my YouTube account and all of that. And I signed in to YouTube, and I was in the VR365 account. And I went into my channel, I was looking at videos, and I was like, oh, I'm already signed in. It's all good. I shut down the laptop and brought it to New York. But in addition to that, I also brought what I thought was the email and password for the account, which apparently I changed 59 days earlier, and I had an old version of it. And so I ended up locked out of my account. So that whole entire time I was locked out of my account. Why do you care? Well, I was going to have all these different back episodes from Twitch uploaded to this channel over that period of time, and I only had one, the MRTV episode. Like, how whacked is that I wasn't able to get all those other episodes to upload while I was gone? Apologies, mistakes happen, but let's move on. Let's go ahead and move forward. And what is the number one story of the day? Well, certainly, there's actually options for the number one story of the day. We have a brand new Oculus Quest game, which is coming way sooner than anybody could have anticipated, by a quality developer. Looks like a dedicated Oculus Quest game. Might come to the Rift at some point. We'll be talking about that. We're going to talk about Oculus Connect 6, of course, a little bit. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about cloud saves on the Quest. And we're going to talk about a couple of new little demos that have popped out and some interesting VR things that are going on. But you know what? I think the number one news story has got to be the fact that HTC has released a brand new trailer for the Vive Cosmos. How incredibly awesome is that? A brand new trailer for the Vive Cosmos, which of course means we're going to get release date, we're going to get price, we're going to get all the info. This is awesome. I haven't seen this trailer yet. I'm so happy on my first day back. An incredible info dump from HTC Vive. So I downloaded this trailer. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. Let's go ahead and check out this trailer. Let me see if I can find it. HTC Vive Cosmos reveal. Oh my God, this is incredible. Let's check this out. Okay, I had my audio messed up. Sorry about that, guys. Had my audio messed up. I had my volume down to 7, and it's normally I have it at 21. So apologies if any of these trailers were really blasting people ridiculously. But yeah, so here's the thing. I've heard that this is like this is an old trailer. And it is an old trailer, but if you go to their YouTube channel, let me see here. Let me activate the webinar, and let's go to YouTube real quick. YouTube.com, and let's look for HTC Vive. Oh well, 1 day ago. Okay, so it actually says 1 day ago. If we go over to the webinar, here it is. The time has come 1 day ago. So I was seeing some people on, so that was yesterday. And it's also an old trailer. Like, people have said that this is like a way old trailer. We've already seen this. No real information here. We're talking about, balanced weight distribution. We see the resolution, of course. 100 lines extra resolution divided by 2 eyeballs. That's real incredible. Or no, 100 lines for each eyeball, right? We know pretty much all of this information. I mean, the flip up, the balanced weight, precise ergonomic controllers. So no real info here. No real info. But like if you went to, let's see, going back to the webinar, and if you went to, say, the Vive subreddit, they have it right here. New Vive Cosmos trailer, HTC Vive on YouTube. I thought this was a big deal. Apparently not. So we're still waiting for information. Still no new info. Nothing, nada. So kind of weak sauce as far as that is concerned. So not a big story over there. You mean a 2-month-old trailer? It came out in June. 2 trailers now. Cosmos scrapped the turntable, apparently. Yeah, at least, this has more production value. It definitely has a little bit more production value. Activate the webinar browser. It's been 7 days since the webinar has happened. Yeah, I'm just, I'm coming back to reality. Here's the interesting thing, guys. When I was gone for this week, see, I'm not your normal cat from the standpoint that I kind of was really on vacation. I wasn't looking at news. I didn't even tweet the entire week I was there. I didn't even tweet. I wasn't even taking my phone with me. I just wanted to enjoy the vibe of New York and just kind of experience New York. And so, I mean, I had my phone with me, but like a lot of times I was going places and I would leave the phone in the hotel. I just wouldn't even, because I didn't want it on my person. But we'll get into the New York thing tomorrow, but I wasn't really up on news. So I've kind of been out of it. So I'm coming back here and I'm trying to catch up on all these news stories. And I thought there was a shocking new development in the Vive Cosmos world, but no, we're apparently waiting for this information. They're really going to draw this thing out as long as humanly possible. And I'm beginning to wonder, is this thing really going to see a release this year? Because they've been dragging this thing out for so incredibly long. But there is some actual legitimate news that is going on in the VR gaming world. And why don't we go to a pretty big game that got revealed today. Now, this is an Oculus Quest exclusive at this point in time. It is being published, I believe, directly by Oculus. So if this does come to PC VR, it will come to the Oculus Rift store. Obviously, if you can use Revive or whatever if you want to play it on your Valve Index. But we've got a brand new game. Why don't we go ahead and check this game out? It is from developer Forcefield, developers of Landfall for the Oculus Rift, a talented developer. Let's go ahead and check this one out. It is called Time Stall, and it is for the Oculus Quest.
Longing to escape your doomed apocalyptic planet? Why not lose yourself on a premium contemporary space cruise? Climb aboard the Fantastic Leap, Earth's only crowd-funded luxury escape cruise. Under the steady hand of our captain, you can sit back and relax thanks to Time Stall, our cutting-edge safety protocol. In the unlikely event of an emergency, our volunteer Time Stall safety human will be working tirelessly outside the flow of time to protect our ship and our captain from any potential travel hazards. Aboard the Fantastic Leap, you can let go and unwind with confidence, knowing that our crew is working around the clock to make sure you arrive at your destination relaxed, rejuvenated, and best of all, alive. So why not leave the hassle and toxic stress of life on Earth behind and chart a course for relaxation as you set sail toward a new life of leisure and luxury? Don't waste another second. Become a premium backer now and enjoy the finest space travel experience global crowdfunding can buy. The Fantastic Leap. What could go wrong? Longing to escape your doomed apocalyptic planet?
Okay, sorry about that, folks. I'm trying to download another trailer at the same time in the background that I did need to grab. But anyways, yeah, this is Time Stall, and it is coming from developer Forcefield, and these guys are busy beavers. They've been working on a lot of games. Of course, they did bring out Landfall, which was a long time ago. That was for the Oculus Rift. But they've been working on the Oculus Quest already. They've brought 2 experiences to the Oculus Quest. They did the National Geographic experience. They also did Anne Frank's House VR. They've also done a lot of other games. Like, I went to their website. I had no idea how many different games Forcefield has made and how many different experiences they've made. These guys are really banging it out on a lot of, they're completely dedicated to VR, and they're bringing out a lot of VR games. They've done a lot of work on the Gear VR. They've brought games to the Oculus Go. For example, some of the games that they have a game called Terminal 1, which is for Gear VR. And actually, if you watch the trailer for Terminal 1 and you go towards the very end of the trailer, there's actually some similarities in certain ways to what they're doing here with Time Stall. So some similarities there. They did Terminal 1. They did Coaster Combat for Gear VR. I think it's on the Go as well, right? And they did Pet Lab for the Oculus Go. And those are just a few of them. They've also done a lot of experiences. I already said, National Geographic and Frank VR. So these guys are pretty talented. Looking at the graphics of this game and looking at the game engine, I mean, it looks like it's pretty dialed in for the Oculus Quest. This is what we're going to see. You got to imagine Oculus has known about the Santa Cruz platform for how long? I mean, they've been developing this platform for several years. They have to know that they want to have some quality software that's going to arrive for the platform during its initial launch window, and then also following up after that. They want a steady stream of quality software that they're going to have delivered, and they probably got a whole bunch of different developers started on projects for a while now, and we're going to see some nicely dialed in products. Because here's the thing, a lot of the stuff that we've seen so far on Oculus Quest, the vast majority of it has been ports of pre-existing VR games. We don't really have too much in the way of native games that are designed very specifically with the Oculus Quest in mind. Imagine a developer that they have the Oculus Quest there. They know the target, that they can keep trying it over and over again on the actual Oculus Quest. It's a dialed in experience. They don't have to wonder what kind of PC rig you have, how much memory you have. we're going to get some really finely dialed games. We're going to get some highly polished games that are going to run very smoothly, look very good. And best of all, this is coming August 15th. That's like 2 weeks from tomorrow. That is 2 weeks from tomorrow. So we're going to get this game in a mere 2 weeks. Kind of cool. I'm looking forward to it. As far as the gameplay, it looks kind of like a puzzle style game. Looks a little bit Job Simulator. There's parts of it that remind me of Job Simulator. Parts of it remind me of Budget Cuts. And just kind of like a puzzle game, kind of a goofy comedy a little bit as well. And you get to, of course, you get to pause time. So it's going to be very much a little bit like Just in Time Incorporated, where you have that mechanic of pausing time, slowing down time. It looks like you're going to have pretty good hand presence. You're going to be interacting with a lot of stuff. One of the things that the developers, like these guys have worked on Gear VR, they've worked on the Oculus Go, but now companies that have experience on those platforms, the beautiful thing about that, very familiar with the chipset. The Snapdragon 835 gives them that much more extra power, plus it's overclocked. It's got the cooling. These guys have been banging away on the standard one that's like in the Go, right? Here's a better chipset. They've made a number of games. They've already done several games. Now they get to flex their muscles a little bit. I'm looking forward to this. I think this might be pretty cool. This is a highly anticipated game as far, I mean, you know, it's not crazy highly anticipated, but it's only 2 weeks away. This is like a cool bonus. I like this. So anyways, let's go ahead and check out our next story. And the next story, I'm going to go ahead and bounce to the webinar. And we're going to talk about Oculus Connect 6. Actually, wait, before we do that, you know what I haven't really looked at? I haven't really looked at chat. So let's go ahead and look at chat. Ray Delatorre says, I was really impressed with the trailer. It looked fun. It's a very long trailer. That trailer is quite long. But yeah, no, it does look pretty good. Onakaze says the spaceship Titanic. It is a little bit WALL-E. Like it reminds me of WALL-E, Job Simulator. For some reason, I get a little bit of Budget Cuts with it too, although I don't think it has any kind of stealth options or anything, but I am looking forward to that. Let's see. Looking at some folks in chat. We have lost 30% of the women who visit this channel with Gaming Science. I don't know what happened to Gaming Science Teacher. She had a YouTube channel and stuff, and she was kind of popping in our Discord for a while. Hopefully everything's good with her, and she'll eventually come back. It's been a while. You know what? It is summer. It is summer. People go away for the summer. I went away for the summer. So this is kind of one of those things that happened. So I am checking out chat a little bit here. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about Oculus Connect 6. So I'm legitimately excited for this. You might remember I missed out on Oculus Connect 5. I should have been more interested in going to Oculus Connect 5, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but I didn't end up going to Oculus Connect 5. I missed out on it. I'd love to go to Oculus Connect 6. Am I going to go? I don't know. I'm trying to get in via media. So today is the first day that it's opened up. Registration has begun. So if you're a developer, if you're in the media, if you are a regular person, you can actually try to apply and get in. Now, this is not really meant for just regular people in the public, but maybe they might have some openings for kind of regular people in the public if you kind of want to fake that you're like some kind of entertainer, some kind of media person, some kind of developer or something. You can pay $400 and you can try to get in. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and we are going to go to Oculus Connect 6 from Facebook. See, you can apply now. You can try to get in. Oculus Connect 6 will be held September 25th and 26th at the San Jose McEnery Convention Center in California. It's our moment to think bigger, build smarter, and realize the true potential of what we've all created. So they're going to have deep dive sessions, first-hand feedback from Oculus employees, and so much more. it really would behoove me to be here. Like, I really would like to go to this. I hope I can get into this. Fingers crossed that I will be able to get into this puppy. But, you know, you see some of the pictures here. That was Oculus Connect 5. There's going to be demos there. I mean, one of the most interesting demos, one of the biggest demos that people are really going to want to experience here is obviously going to be Respawn. The AAA Respawn game. We're going to find out what the game is. We're probably going to get a prime time trailer for the game, kind of introducing the game. But if you actually attend Oculus Connect 6, you're probably going to have an opportunity to actually play Respawn Entertainment's big VR game. And you got to wonder, how much money is Oculus throwing at this thing? How big of a game is this? We know they want a AAA game, and we know they've got the money to blow. And so this could be a very powerful game coming at a very interesting time in the life cycle of VR. We're talking 3 years after the original arrival of VR. There's going to be some bigger projects that start to come to fruition. And the game isn't even coming out this year. We're lucky if it comes out in 2020. It could be a 2021 game, but we're going to get some hands-on opportunities at Oculus Connect 6. I'm looking forward to that if I can possibly get the opportunity. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a lot of Oculus Quest games that'll probably be able to be tried there that are future releases that are planned for the fourth quarter. There's going to be unknown Oculus Rift games that could be there as well, some Oculus Go stuff. There might, who knows, if Oculus has some kind of AR thing, I doubt they would have some kind of hands-on ability to check out whatever their AR thing is. But what I could imagine, they might have some type of stand there that has like an AR thing built into it where you just kind of put your head up to it and you can kind of get a basic look at what it might look like, what the AR future might look like, because Oculus is going to be doing some AR stuff. Michael Abrash, chief scientist and chief baller. I don't know which talk he's giving, and I don't know what day his talk is, because if I do go to Oculus Connect 6, I'm not sure that I'm going to both days. I might have to just choose one day and live with one day. But Abrash is probably going to be giving his yearly talk where he basically breaks down where VR is right now and where it's going. He has one more year of information to base all of his projections on. So he'll probably say, well, I need to adjust this. This is a little bit farther away. This is actually closer away. This technology is starting to leak out. This technology is taking a little bit longer. Certainly the most interesting session is got to be Michael Abrash. It's got to be this talk, because if you're interested in the future of VR, if you want to know what the VR future looks like 4 or 5 years from now, that's the talk that you want to attend. That's the talk that I want to go to. Now, the keynote's obviously going to be pretty interesting. Obviously, Zuck is going to get up there on stage. Hugo Berra probably will be in from New York. He will be up on stage. Abrash might get up on stage for a minute. John Carmack, all the key Oculus people are probably going to get up there and be talking about some stuff. So going to the keynote would be nice as well. There's your boy Carmack. So yeah, it's going to be a cool thing. That is Oculus Connect 6. Once again, we're talking about September 25th and 26th. I'm really hoping to go. This is kind of how the schedule breaks out. They've got it broken down here. On day one, the keynote begins at 10 a.m. Pacific time. They're going to be starting demos at noon. Demos and office hours look like they're going to run until 5 p.m. on day one. On day one, sessions, the in-depth sessions are going to begin at 1 p.m. and look like they're going to go to 5 p.m. And then day two, you're going to have the demos and the office hours, the sessions, and an evening event. I don't know what that's all about, but that goes all the way until 9 p.m. They do have some of the topics. The 3Ds of immersive media: discover, design, distribute, bridge virtual and real worlds with AR. So they got something AR. That these aren't all the topics. one thing I noticed is I was expecting more AR focused topics, so maybe AR is a bit further away. Maybe we won't get this prototype. Maybe we'll just get their like strategy for AR, but not actually see anything. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to show for AR. Career connected curriculum for tomorrow's AR VR developers, creating VR for everyone, accessibility and inclusion, designing for emotion, where stories and games meet, from demo to pilot to deployment, getting buy-in for enterprise VR. The more things change, how trends in VR apply to Quest. So, all kinds of women in AR VR research, technological tethers, how AR and VR connect us to the world. That might be like ABRASH. I don't know. Like, I don't know which one's going to be the ABRASH one, and I don't know what day it is. But that is Oculus Connect 6. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hyped. I really hope I will be able to go there live. I might even if I can't get into the place, I don't know that I'm going to pay $400 to get in there, but I might go there just to be there. I don't know. It's a hell of a drive. San Jose is a legit drive from Sacramento, but I might have to do it. But let's go ahead and get back over here. Let me see what some folks are talking about in chat. Let me bounce back over. Deli Wolfensparger says we should all meet for a beer. VR Spy Guy says, I think I heard Carmack was going to be on Joe Rogan. Yes, I did hear this, that sometime in the month of August, I believe, John Carmack is going to be on Joe Rogan. That is going to be a really interesting episode. Looking forward to that. That could be, Carmack loves to talk. Dude will ramble like a mofo. In fact, honestly, Joe Rogan might just, have to ask Carmack key questions and then just let Carmack off to the races because he can go for a while. Deli Wolfensparger says there is this thing called an airplane. Dude, don't get me started on airplanes. Do you know the drama that I had to deal with when I was trying to come back from New York to Sacramento through Chicago O'Hare Airport? Oh my God, it was a nightmare of nightmares. I've always had good luck with airlines. I haven't had planes delayed. I haven't been stuck on the tarmac for 3 hours and then had to return to the gate and not even take off. But I did experience that 2 days ago. So I had never experienced that before in my life. Don't get me started on airplanes. But what I will say is nobody would fly from Sacramento to San Jose. You drive there. But it's a good 3-hour drive probably. It's a strong 3-hour drive. And 3 hours ain't that big of a deal, but it is a 6-hour round trip. Let's see. A lot of people are probably like, dude, 3 hours? You got to drive 3 hours? Cry me a river, dude. I'm in England and I want to go to OC6. Slayblaze says, anyone else going to OC6? Yes, and Anthony, plus don't forget, I will be there. So Deli Wolfensparger is going to be there. They're having the Burger King Managers Convention at exactly the same time. Oh my God, that's awesome. Deli Wolfensparger, he's going to be, at the Burger King convention right next door. It's happening at the same time. Yeah, book your accommodations now, bro. That is the hardest part, not the ticket. Well, see, the thing is, I'm thinking of just coming up for a day. Like, I'm thinking of driving up to San Jose early as F, hitting it hard all day. When it closes, I drive my butt back to Sacktown. I'm kind of thinking about that. I'm not thinking I'm going to spend the night. I don't know. But it is something to consider. It's something to think about. Gary Haylock says, Carmack smoking a doobie. Yeah, I wonder, it's possible that Joe Rogan might be like, hey, Carmack, want to hit this? I don't think Carmack's going to want to hit it. I think he'll be like, no, I know my good buddy Elon Musk hit it. Hasn't Carmack actually worked with Elon Musk? Like, they have they're cool with each other and stuff. So that'll be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to that interview, to be sure. Okay, so you know what? I have some other trailers that I wanted to show off really quick here. So let me go ahead and grab some of these other trailers. And let's see, what else did I have? You know what? Well, there is this music video, actually, I wanted to talk about. Let me get that information on here. There's a music video called Sheathe that is available. It is available on Steam. It is free. And it's another interesting example of how music videos and VR is kind of like a cool combination. And you know what? I wanted to check this out before today's show. Didn't do it. But let's go ahead and check out this video anyway. I'll probably check it out a little bit later this evening. I'll be able to talk about it tomorrow on Twitch. Let's go ahead and check out this trailer real quick. Okay, so that is Sheathe, and basically what this is it's a very chill out kind of experience because there's no interactivity. You're not driving the car. You're not going to move the car from one lane to another. I think the only thing you're able to do is you're able to switch between 3 different musical tracks. Now, this experience lasts about 10 minutes, and as you can see, it looks like a pretty chill kind of experience where you just want to chill in the front seat of the car and just enjoy the beautiful scenery. Look at the kind of neon style, Vice City a little bit there with that last part right there. You get to enjoy several different songs. I've heard good things about this. This looks cool. I actually did read about this while I was in New York, and I thought, man, when I get back to my real deal PC VR rig with my Valve Index, check this out, guys. My Valve Index, I need to get it out of the closet. I actually put it away while I was gone. I mean, I didn't put the whole thing away, just the basic headset itself. And since returning, I have not played my Valve Index. I did play a game called T for Gods, though, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit here, even though we got a pretty long show that we're going to be into tonight. But I definitely need to pull out the Valve Index. As soon as this episode is over, I gotta try this. This looks super cool. Let's go ahead and check out the Steam page. And here's the Steam page. It is Sheathe Together EP, VR Music Experience. Enter virtual reality to listen to the debut EP Together of synthwave producer Sheathe. No gameplay involved, just sit back, relax, enjoy that music while you drive through a retro, low poly world. And yeah, so there's basically 3 different songs. One of them is Together, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Inner Visions, 3 minutes, and then 2 minutes for Point Break. And each of the songs, I guess you don't change the tracks. But each of the songs is set, it's tailor-made to specific scenery that will evoke. But look at that. That is a cool look right there. Let me jump into that VR world, but I want to jump into that VR world with my entire body. Yeah, I want it to be like if there was a portal in real life and you stuck your hand through a portal, and you walked into a portal, you would see your body in the freaking world and it would be perfectly crystal clear. We need to bring our bodies into VR. That is the bottom line, folks. That is what we need to do. Unfortunately, we're probably about 15 years away from doing it super accurately in real time where it looks like your real body and it's super convincing. But I would love to jump into a world like this. How cool would that look? Look at that. That looks sweet. Man, I should have used one of these screenshots for this video. I think I probably will switch. And think about the nighttime with the raindrops. Come on. Nighttime with raindrops. The morning with the freaking ocean. This looks really sweet. I don't know if anybody in chat has actually tried it. Let me go ahead and bounce over to chat. Let's see if anybody's talking about they've tried this and if they have any thoughts on it. Pseudo Soul says, looks a lot like Miami Beach at the end. We have Roots jumping in late, a little bit late. The Audica Master is here. He is the Audica Master. Roots, do you have a video? Do a video for freaking... What's the one? Pop Stars. Do a video for that, man. In with your green screen and the whole deal for Audica. That'd be a cool video to check it out. Uber Wolfie says, we missed you, Anthony. How was New York? Well, if you want to know about the New York trip, you gotta wait for tomorrow. It is a Twitch exclusive. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun, man, because tomorrow I'm gonna talk a lot about my New York trip in the beginning of the show. I'll talk any VR news, and if there's breaking VR news, I'm going to cover it. But I'm going to talk a lot about the sights of New York, the smells of New York, and everything else in between. I'll definitely be talking about some New York tomorrow, so wait for that. But I'm not going to get into it too much today. Slayblaze says, hit the leaf and play some Sheathe. Oh, yeah. So No Man's Sky, there's a rumor. Now, the thing about this rumor is I heard about it on Discord, and it was right before this show, and I was researching all kinds of other topics, and I don't know anything else about it. But let's go ahead and just do a live search. No Man's Sky, August 16th, VR. Let's try that. Let's see what we get out of that. No Man's Sky VR version release date is August 16th. So here it is, folks. It is official. It is locked in stone. Actually, this is the No Man's Sky subreddit. Holy smokes. Okay, this is the No Man's Sky subreddit. Said in an article by Sarthak Gar on the Digital Wise, can this be correct, or where did he get the information from? Okay, it feels like clickbait. It's as if a computer made it. I'm not a native English speaker, but it does not look like good grammar and word choices. Okay, let's see. I'm not believing any date unless it comes straight from the developer. Tuesday, friend. What does that mean? And then July 16th, 2019, the grammar gave me a headache. I wouldn't trust it. So anyway, this is basically, I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Let's see what it says. No Man's Sky. Will VR support work fine in the game? After... No Man's Sky VR version expected release date is August 16th, 2019. This is not it. No Man's Sky also having multiplayer feature, but there is some... Yeah, okay, it's kind of a weird thing. I mean, yeah, so take this with a major grain of salt, folks. So this is major grain of salt. But, where there's smoke, sometimes there's fire. And I'll tell you what, I know a long time ago, people that are on the inside with No Man's Sky, like hardcore No Man's Sky peeps, and there are those. In fact, there's this subreddit to prove it, right? They have said since the very beginning that they thought No Man's Sky VR is probably a late August arrival. Okay, so we're almost at August. Tomorrow begins August, right? And I guess if you're in New Zealand, it's August right now. But basically, this is going to be coming out pretty damn soon. It's got to come out pretty damn soon. So August 16th is good as anything else. But right now, it is a rumor. It is completely unconfirmed. So we can't get really too incredibly excited about it. But that is the rumor that's out there. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and go back over here to the standard scene. And I need to see what other topics I did want to... Oh, you know what, guys? I wanted to show you what I think may be the worst logo for a VR game I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh my God. Can you say ass on a stick? Can you say ass on a stick? We can all say it. Okay, so let's go back over here to the webinar. And let's look for the worst The worst logo I've ever seen. Okay, now stop it. Driving simulation? No, that's not the worst. Anticorpse VR? Oh, this game is out? This game actually looks kind of cool. I didn't know if this was out. Remember, we saw a trailer for this one Saturday, I believe. I had this game on. It looks like Microcosm or something. It looks like you're up in somebody's freaking, in their veins and you're messing with blood cells or something. But that game, Anticorpse, I didn't know that that game is actually available. So that game came out yesterday. Normal price $13. It is going for $10.39. Dude, this logo, pretty bad. HVAC simulator, pretty bad logo. So bad logos are commonplace. But look at this, guys. Look at this. Time traveling Navy SEAL Ninja Warrior. Okay, oh man. It looks like they base it. Look at this, man. No. Let's go back. Look at that. Oh, that looks so painful to me. I kind of feel like a 6-year-old. You could give GIMP and a couple of YouTube tutorials to a 6-year-old, and they might be able to do something a little bit better than that. Time traveling Navy SEAL Ninja Warrior. Look at that picture on the screen. Do you guys see what I see? Now, if you click on it, I'll admit, okay, this is a little bit better. They slightly redeemed themselves a little bit better with that actual thing there. But yeah, that's got to be one of the worst logos I've ever seen. But hey, Anticorpse is available, and I'm telling you, that game looks slightly cool. In fact, let's go back over here. Let me find the Anticorpse trailer. We'll look at it just for like 15 seconds or something, because I think it actually seemed kind of halfway decent. Very indie. So here's the Anticorpse trailer. Let's go ahead and check this out for a second. I'm gonna take a sip of water. So that is Anticorpse VR. It is available as of yesterday. Development Unreal Creative is the developer for this game, and as you can see, normal price is $13. It is 20% off at $10.39. It does have a patch. Connecting a problem with the Oculus controller grips. All grip controls are replaced by the BY buttons. So it looks like it had a slight problem and it has been patched. That was today. That is available. So I didn't know that one came out. Nothing else big. I'm trying to see, has anything come out since I had, my last show? Because I haven't really been, Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. I have not played this. Mostly negative. Ouch. Mostly negative. Now the game's only $20. I have not played this. I've never, I haven't played it. Not that I don't really want to play it. I was gone and it's mostly negative. I don't know that I want to spend $20 on this. Another demo mistakenly labeled as a game. 4 missions and 2 hours playtime, including 2 smoke breaks. Graphics are subpar. Anything beyond 15 feet away is blurry. What a ripoff. Oh man, so yeah, 1.5 hours to beat the boring on-rail shooter with blurry textures. The credits were almost as long as the entire game. Not recommended. The visuals are very blurry, making it hard to make anything out. The gameplay is very repetitive and unsatisfying. Killing Nazis isn't very hard, and the animations and lack of any sound to them leave something to be desired. Wow, is this really that bad? Or are people going overboard? I want to like this game. I do. I love VR, and the idea of piloting a mech was like a drug to me. A drug? This is a tech demo. It is not worth the price it is given. You get to play mini games, then drive a hulking machine into battle, pull the trigger to kill Nazis almost instantly, and then play more mini games. That is all. There are 4 missions, and then the game ends. Yeah, does not sound too good. Sadly, way too short. The idea is great. The execution acceptable, but the amount of game... Okay, here's somebody that actually recommends this. I see a lot of reviews here. I see a lot of the reviews here have mentioned terrible and blurry graphics. It should be noted that the game defaulted to the lower spec for me, even though I am running a 2080s and I have a 9700K. I found that changing the settings to ultra for everything, removing the default vignette filter, remedied a large amount of the gripes I initially encountered graphically. Is it the best looking game for VR? No, but it's still a good game, bro, that I think is getting a lot of knee-jerk bad reviews without people adjusting the settings and reevaluating it. The control scheme is nice and the gameplay has been fun thus far. I just figured in the wave of bad reviews, I would say it is not as bad as people are making it out to be. Half cooked for Wolfenstein and VR fans alike. Yeah, well, this guy says recommended. I bought this game from a third-party website, blah, 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 blah. It took me 3 hours to complete. Overall, I would say the game is rather mediocre. So, oh, yeah, it sounds kind of craptacular. I mean, it's definitely not, people aren't ranting and raving about it. So let's see what some people in chat, there's probably a few people in chat that have played this. Let's see what they're going to say. Let me scroll down and find where we are here. Okay. So Show Game is saying Half-Life is playable on Quest. I've heard about that. And you know what? I do have Quest to talk about. I'm going to talk about T for Gods on the Oculus Quest. I could also talk about Quake. I finally played Quake. I finally did the whole side quest thing. Can you believe it? And I did play Quake on the Quest. I did play T for God on the Quest. I'm going to talk about that. I have not played Half-Life. I have not grabbed that APK or whatever it is. I haven't done it yet. Okay, so Deli Wolfensparger says, I just got back from QuakeCon. I tried it. The mech is very good. That guy is wrong. Okay, you have to change a setting, says Deli Wolfensparker. Jay Pace says Wolfenstein Cyberpilot is another VR combat wheelchair game. Okay, so it's a sit-down game, and I Am Root says it's not that bad, Anthony. Deli says it's not as bad as it sounds. I Am Root says it's not great, but it's not that bad. It's a bit repetitive, but hey. And Slay Blaze says, Cyberpilot didn't seem that good, to be honest. Onikaze says, heard it's like 90 minutes. Blurry graphics. You need to change the settings correctly. Although, here's the thing. You know, everybody talking about these blurry graphics and stuff, and people are talking about changing the settings. But, dude, the guy that said it was okay had like a 9700K and like a 2080 Ti. Not everybody's going to have that. Okay, now main fans talking about play Quake on your PC. Forget about the friggin' Quest. Dude, it's all about wireless. That's the whole thing with the Quest. It's all about wireless. It's all about being able to zip around. And the idea of playing a game like Quake should look perfect and should run pretty much perfect on the Quest. It should be powerful enough to do that. I don't think this version is completely dialed in absolutely perfectly. Look, you want to talk about Quake on the Quest? Let's see here. Let me try to I didn't grab a video for Quake on the Quest. But what I can do is, let's just do we can just do Quake, Quest, Oculus, Quake, Oculus, Quest. Probably will jump us to a YouTube video, and this is Sheathe VR, and we'll just go ahead and skip this and check it out real quick. Okay, so yeah, so this is Quake on the Quest, and I played it. You know, I'll talk about it briefly here. So you kind of have your gun. It's like floating out there, you know, a little bit away from you. It's kind of weird when you first see it floating out there like that. But it seemed to work pretty good for me. Now, the number one thing that you're going to notice about it, though, is that Quake is a very old game, man. It's a very polygonified game. That part was kind of cool. I mean, you know, I was running through the levels, zooming through the levels. I got to tell you, motion sickness, I think, is a bit of a factor with some of this stuff. I've seemed to have had it with like Doom, Quake. I don't know if these games are just so fast, if there's something about the movement. That's why I've always said, like Bethesda, what are you guys doing? You have these classics, you have Doom, you have Quake, you have all these classics that you can work with. Why not bring them to VR, but bring them to VR in a more tailored way where you're not going to get motion sick, you're not going to get the weirdness, you're not going to get the jank. Why not do it officially? And that's the thing here. That's a really short video. Oh, okay. No, he's just showing off some Patreon supporters. Okay. And then he's showing you how to download it and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I had fun with it, but I got to tell you, something was weird. I had to quit out of it after about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I was like, this is starting to kind of feel kind of weird. And I've noticed that with all of these games. And watch, Main Fan's going to say, it's something with you, man. This is perfectly fine. It's something with you. Okay, let's see if Main Fan's saying anything. Oh, no, he hasn't. He said, Quake sucks. Okay, so maybe it's just a bad version of it. But you know what? I mean, yeah, so I don't think I've tried the PC version of this on a VR headset. I have not. But I've tried a lot of like Doom and that type of stuff on the PC. And I don't know, something about moving too fast, and I don't know. I don't know that these games are right for VR. But I think they could somehow be converted where they would be right in VR. One of the things you're going to notice after a while, I'd rather play Doom, because the original Doom, I went through that entire game back in the day, and so I have the nostalgic memories for it. Quake, I didn't really get into Quake, because when it hit, I didn't have a computer. You know what's trippy about when Quake first arrived back in the 90s? Like a computer that could run Quake at the time that Quake came out would be the equivalent to like $7,000 right now. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I haven't adjusted it for inflation, but I got to imagine it would be like $7,000 to buy, like the equivalency of buying a computer when Quake was out that could really run Quake right. And I was not the one. I didn't have a computer. I didn't get a computer till a few years later. And Quake was really old. And so I went back and checked it out. I played it a little bit, but I don't have like tremendously nostalgic feelings for Quake, but I did finally try that out. Okay, since we're on these topics, why don't we go back over here? And I'm going to put on a T for God video. This is actually a Paradise Decay. This is Paradise Decay playing T for God. So let me go ahead and find this T for God VR Superb, Paradise Decay. Okay, I'm going to throw that up there. And, excuse me here. I'll just go ahead and let that run. Buy some Paradise merch, y'all. Buy that Paradise merch. And he's going to get into the Let's Play for T for Gods. Or T for God, right? T for God. T for God, yeah. So I've heard a lot about this game, and everybody's been talking about side quests, so I finally got side quests. I figured, you know what? I'm about to go to New York. I'm going to take my quest with me. Have quest, will travel. If you're going to go on summer vacation, this is an incredible thing. It really is, to be able to take such a quality device with you on vacation. I played Quake in my hotel room in Manhattan, like hella stories up in the air, very small hotel room, did not have a lot of room to work with, but I played Quake, I played Racket NX, and wait a minute, before I get into T for God, dude, Racket NX, legit. I've already said that Racket NX was legit, but it is even more legit than I originally thought. Racket NX is no joke. Racket NX on Quest is a go-to game, man. That is a game, I can hop into that game for a good 20 minutes of burst anytime. That is a great thing. And Deli Wolfensparger says, your wife must have been thrilled. You're traveling all the way to New freaking York and you're playing Oculus Quest. Well, let me tell you guys this. I played less than 2 hours of Oculus Quest the entire like 6 days or whatever I was there. So I only used it 2 different times for like a half. I played like 45 minutes. Actually, you know what? Not even 2 hours. I probably played it for about 35 minutes one day and then 35 minutes another day. And that was it the entire time. I almost didn't even need to bring it because I didn't use it that much. So no, I did not use it very much. But the one thing I will say about using it, I took these headphones with me and I had my Quest and I had my studio form thing and I had my back weighted with the little batteries, you know, weighting the back down, so I had better comfort. And the experience that I had in my hotel room, not as big of a play space, so that did kind of screw with the experience a little bit, but visually and audio and controls, identical. And that's the beautiful thing about a Quest. And I had it in a tiny little bag. Like I squeezed it into a tiny little bag, brought it with me. That's the beautiful thing about the Oculus Quest. So I just wanted to say that. Now, T for God. I've been hearing people talk about this. I've been hearing people rave about this for quite some time. Now look, T for God is not new. I understand this. I know this. T for God is not new. T for God has been around for like well over a year, I believe. And it was available on PC VR first. And then now it has come to these other, it's come to the Oculus Quest via sideload. So this thing has been around. It's not a new thing. Let me look for, hold on a second here, because I want to see, there's probably a T for God article that is on Upload VR. T for God Quest Upload VR. T for God makes the best use of Quest wire-free. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, there is an article. So, I mean, this came out. People have been talking about it. The video's kind of crap. That's one of the things that we're seeing right here. I mean, not Paradise's video. I'm just saying the graphics. Like, this is not a stunner of a graphical game. Let's listen into Paradise for a quick second and see what he's doing. He's walking through these hallways. He's blasting these robots. And let's listen in for just a sec.
I lost my track a little bit there.
There he is.
My guns are back. Okay, so at the moment we're just going around in circles. If I had a bigger play area, I might have to try this on my garden or something.
Yeah, so that's the other thing about this game. He's basically saying you're just going around in circles. And so the one thing I got to say, so I played T for God the other day when I got home here, because I was going to try this in the hotel, and I thought, you know what? This space is so tiny that I have in the hotel. I'm not going to ruin this. I'm going to play this when I get home. And I played it in here with this really big ass place. I have a huge play space. I am blessed, ladies and gentlemen. I am truly blessed. Thank you. I mean, there's people that are in Europe and Japan that would cut off their left pinky to have this kind of play space for VR. So I'm super blessed from that standpoint. And when I played T for God, it was an incredible experience for me. It was like a game changer kind of an experience for me. I was really blown away by it. And you know what? I have some thoughts on it. I wrote down some positives and some negatives. Okay, so the number one positive I have about T for Gods is it basically shows what I've been trying to say for so long about what Triangular Pixels was able to achieve with Unseen Diplomacy. You guys know the game Unseen Diplomacy? Like, people have heard of the game, but so many people have not tried it. Probably because it costs $3. They've heard about it, and they just don't want to cough up the $3. But Unseen Diplomacy, like, broke new ground, and that's kind of what T for God is. It's basically using kind of the similar concepts that Unseen Diplomacy did, that Triangular Pixels did way back in April of 2016. And Johnny Come Lately, T for God, is getting all of the pub. But anyway, that's one of the beautiful things about it, is anybody out there that is raving about T for God, you tried T for God, you really like it, okay, now go play Unseen Diplomacy and find out where the freaking idea came from. I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade at the developer of T for Gods. It's obvious, and I keep saying T for Gods, there's no S, T for God, but it's obvious that this design, this Euclidean whatever they call it, this kind of design is kind of genius, especially if you've got a play area as big as my play area, because in my big ass play area, this kind of game, it's like I'm in the void or something. I'm basically in the void when I'm playing T for God, because I've got like, I don't know, like damn near 3 meters by 3 meters or even bigger, right? I got this big ass play space, and I'm able to walk over here, and I'm walking over there, and I'm walking into this room, and I'm walking on the ledge, and I'm getting into this elevator, and it's taking me over here, and then I'm walking back this way, and then I'm walking back that way. You know, one positive that I would give to this experience is games like this can be great exercise. You want to talk about some exercise? Dude, like think of people that just want to go on a very long walk. You want to go on a long walk through a nice park or through some kind of forest or something like that. You could go on a long ass walk with this game. Now the downside is even as large of a play space that I had, they're going to have you going around in circles, and they're going to have you like going on this elevator to go here, and you know, they're going to have to guide you around. They're going to have to force you into these tight-knit areas. But having said all of that, man, this could be a game changer, because as I was playing this, I was simply thinking about what is a AAA developer going to do with this kind of concept where you're going into these tight quarters and you're having like an intense, awesome combat experience. You're talking to characters that have personality that are looking at you. You're interacting with knobs. You're interacting with levers. You're interacting with all kinds of things. You're in a tight quarters, but you're having this incredible experience. You're going on trams. You're going on trains. You're on ledges and stuff. Like you're going upstairs, you're going into tiny little rooms, you're crawling on the ground. Imagine what a AAA developer could, like, I want to see a really high-end developer check out this concept and be like, oh shit, could you imagine what we could do with this if we had a AAA budget? If we had the support and the time and the budget to do something really kick-ass with this kind of an idea, super awesome. Problem is, not likely to happen. Why? Because people like me that have a gigantic ass play space like this, or maybe MAME Fan, which also has a big enough play space like this, like we're in the extreme minority. Now you might be able to take your Oculus Quest though. That's the thing about it. The Quest, will travel. You got a driveway, you got a backyard. You can wait until it's dusk when the sun is down enough that it's not going to damage anything, but you got enough light for it to, you know, do the Guardian and everything. You got a big space. You could go to town with a game like T for God. Now the question is, will a high-end AAA developer ever do something like this? Probably doubtful, man, but God, I really wish they would, because this is kind of a game changer. I have some negatives to say about it. Like, there were lots of little glitches in the geometry. There were some weird little flashes that were going on in the headset, like weird little anomalies, flashes, glitches and stuff, like just in the geometry of the walls and things. Like, it wasn't always perfectly solid and locked in. It was a little bit annoying. Also, the graphics, like, can you make a more plain-looking game if you tried? I mean, the browns, the grays, like, the colors of everything. Like, the most drab colors known to man were kind of used in this thing. I mean, it's free, so who am I to complain? And it's incredibly impressive, and I give these guys all the props in the world. Look, I'm just going to try to say positives and negatives. I know I'm kind of coming off a little bit like an asshole saying, dude, what's up with the colors? But I got to say it. So I'm one of the things I wrote here, not T for God's fault, but not very many people have a room scale space as big as mine. Yeah, I kind of already went through that. Oh, one of the things I was thinking about in regards to like this whole curation thing that is going on with the Oculus Quest and why we can't get stuff like this is I kind of have an idea what Oculus... Actually, no, I'm going to talk about that some other day. That's a more important topic for another day. The inverse kinematics were pretty good. I was impressed with the inverse kinematics going back onto the positive side. And the other thing I'll say is this should be an entire genre. Like this Euclidean geometry. Okay, let's go back to the webinar. Let's go to the webinar and let's check out this story here. Because what is it called? Is it called Euclidean geometry or it's something like that? Yeah, they did mention unseen diplomacy in this article. I'm glad they did that. Like at least mention where you got the, where it originally started. Triangular Pixels, man. That's why I was so disappointed that Triangular Pixels made, what was that game they made? Smash, Bash, Rash, or whatever the hell they made. Smash, Plunder, Thunder. That PlayStation VR game that made no freaking sense whatsoever. They created this incredible Euclidean idea with unseen diplomacy, and then they made that other game. Like, come on, bro, what's the deal there? But this is Void Room. They're the people that made T for God. Procedurally generated, da-da-da-da-da-da. But what is it called? It's called like Euclidean geometry or some kind of weird thing. But basically what it does is you just kind of go through this little door, which turns you around through this. It's kind of like the world folds in on itself. And I do have one worry about this type of game. Like I have a legitimate worry about this kind of game. Is this safe, ladies and gentlemen? Because you guys remember the story? It was on Twitch. I had an episode on Twitch where I talked about VR is causing dementia, y'all. They did some tests with rats. They had rats in these cave rooms, simulated VR for rats, and the rats were having some weird ass dementia, like they were like having dementia problems, and they're exploring this dementia thing, and it has something to do with our brains. It has something to do with the way neurons are firing in ways they don't normally do because your brain is being tricked. And I'll tell you what, you want to talk about being tricked? This Euclidean geometry or whatever, these worlds folding in on themselves, I got to tell you, after playing T for Gods, as long as I did, I kind of was walking around and I started just today I was sitting at my desk at work and I started to feel like the world was going zzz, and I'm like, oh shit, I need to stop playing that T for God thing. It's gonna freaking break my brain, y'all. And you know what? We're in an uncharted territory here. Like, how safe is VR really? I'm starting to actually I'm a straight VR proponent. I love VR. I've dedicated a huge chunk of my life to VR for the last 3 years. But the thing about it is we're doing things to our brain that our brains were not designed for, man. Has the FTC checked this thing out? Has the FTC figured this thing out? Do they know that this is safe? Because I got to tell you, this T for God thing, it's cool what they're doing. It's awesome. I want to see more of it. But at the same time, I want to know that 10 years from now, I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And they'll be like, oh, man, that was this guy that played VR back in the early days, man. He played VR back in 2019 and it broke his brain, dude. He played this thing T for God. So I'm kind of joking. I'm kind of not. I'm kind of joking. I'm kind of not. So, some concerns here with this T for God thing. But if it is safe, assuming it's not going to break our brains, assuming it's not going to make me dyslexic or whatever, I don't know what, but assuming it is safe, This is a gameplay idea that absolutely needs to be explored much more, but on the downside, you really need a big ass room to truly take full advantage of this. Okay, so anyways, let's go ahead and move on. Yeah, it went a little bit dark. This is what you guys miss when you don't have VR 365. VR 365, easily one of the more unique and unusual VR gaming programs, I have to say so myself. I don't know, am I stepping out of bounds to say that myself? But I kind of think I talk about shiz, a lot of people don't. Maybe shiz people just don't think about, I don't know, it's all gizzies and the hizzies. But basically, folks, it's 8:40 p.m. And you know what I need to do? I need to end this show. It's 8:40 p.m. Pacific time. I have not hooked up Steam. I haven't hooked up my Valve Index since I've returned from New York. I've been here for 2 days now. I have not hooked up my Valve Index. Have I played VR since I've been back? Yeah, but all I played was T for God, and it broke my brain, and I'm never going to play VR again. No, I'm about to hook up my Valve Index, and you know what I'm going to check out, folks? I'm going to check out that freaking music video. That shit looks cool. I want to see what that's all about. I want to try that out. So I'm definitely going to try that out. Maybe I'll hop into Audica just for the hell of it. So I'm going to get a little Valve Index action going on. But I will be back tomorrow on Tuesday at same time, but a different bat channel. We're going to be on Twitch tomorrow, twitching it up. And if you don't go over to Twitch, here's the problem, guys. You're going to miss out on all the stories I have about New York. Are the people of New York, what are the people of New York like? You know, what are the people of New York like? What are some of the sights? What were some of the things I experienced in New York? Would I ever want to live in New York? What did I eat in New York? You know, what happened? Like, you're going to miss that if you don't go over to Twitch, because that episode is not going to be on YouTube for a long time. And you got a burning curiosity. You're going to have to go over to Twitch tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, live and direct, or catch it on the archive. It stays there, but only for 12 days. So if you want to grab these Twitch episodes, you got to be snappy about it. All right, folks, I need to bounce the heck out of here, grab my Valve Index out of the closet, blow off all the dust, get it hooked up, and start downloading some experiences and hop back in to PC VR. I will see everybody tomorrow. So I'll see everybody tomorrow on YouTube. Glad to be back in the saddle. Weird show, but that's the way it is on VR 365. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Take it easy, and later.